haber traído un papel.
¿Mm?
Como le podía haber traído un papel.
Sí.
Yo vengo siempre pecho de
Siempre. Good morning from Madrid. My name is David Henneberger. I'm the head of office of the Friedrich Naumann Foundation here in the Spanish capital. A very warm welcome. We are really happy that you join us this Monday morning for the very first edition of Mediterranean Tech Women Week. I want to thank Mujeres Tech and Womenpreneur, our partner organizations for this week, as well as our team, Odilia, Raki and Felix, for having organized this entire week. We are the German liberal foundation promoting equal opportunities for all around the world, among other things. And in the framework of female empowerment, our foundation, our headquarters in Germany, have launched the Female Forward campaign, a campaign to highlight female role models in the business sector, in civil society, in science, and so on, politics, of course, to give young girls and women a visible opportunity to learn from role models and to pursue their own career in these sectors. We have launched the Mediterranean Tech Women Week because we believe in opportunities. And I think there are three main opportunities here which are worth to highlight. First of all, on a personal level, we want to encourage women around the Mediterranean to learn from each other, to pursue their own ideas, to pursue their own business ventures. And combined with that are also opportunities for societies as a whole. Societies cannot afford not to take women seriously, not to offer career opportunities to women, because society needs entrepreneurship, needs private enterprises, needs innovation, and it would be just plain stupid not to take into account 50% of the population. So there have been great inventors in history who are female, who are women. There are business leaders around the world who are women. So everything is possible, and it is important to showcase these success stories. And finally, as the Friedrich Naumann Foundation Madrid office, we work and promote liberty and freedom in Italy, Spain and Portugal, promote dialogue with Brussels and Germany and other European countries. But we also foster cooperation and dialogue in the Mediterranean. And this Female Forward campaign and the Mediterranean Tech Women Week are a centerpiece of this cooperation in the Mediterranean. And we believe that there are also opportunities in the current COVID situation. For instance, supply chains that could be moved from Eastern Asia to Northern Africa, which would make supply chains much more secure and European countries less dependent on one country or a few countries in the Far East. So there are three opportunities here that we want to pursue with the Mediterranean Tech Women Week. First of all, your personal opportunities to succeed in the business sector, in the tech sector. Second, opportunities for society as a whole, because women are so crucial and so important to progress in societies around the Mediterranean. And third, because the current COVID situation might lead to closer business cooperation and tech cooperation in the Mediterranean. So thank you very much for joining us. We have an exciting week ahead of us, 4 days full of talks, masterclasses, and conferences. And I'm so happy that Eva is here with us. Eva Diaz, CEO of Apogeo Digital, a startup here in Madrid.
Yeah.
And you have had a long career in the business sector here in Spain. You had executive positions with Accenture, Deloitte, and KPMG, among others. And we are really happy and thankful that you cooperate with us here, not just during the Mediterranean Tech Women Week, but also as our campaign ambassador for Female Forward International. Thank you so much, Eva, for your friendship and your partnership.
First of all, as an ambassador of the Female Forward program of the Friedrich Naumann Foundation, it's an honor for me. welcome you to this Tech Mediterranean Tech Women Week 2020. I would like to reinforce 3-4 points that I consider are key in the empowerment of women, and especially in this complex world we are living. We are in a very complex moment from the point of view of work, especially for that women that are experiencing high difficulties to access to the labor market. On this area, we are convinced that the entrepreneur is one of the most important ways to access to the labor market, and a way to empower women and get their independence, economic independence in their lives. We are going to share these days with some entrepreneur women, successful women, that I'm sure that we are going to share with us their experiences, their learnings, their success, and are going to enormous experience and incentives to understand that entrepreneurship is possible, is feasible, and is a way to be successful in the life and the labor market. We are living in a digital world, all of us, all of our life is in digital. Technology is the key element to be successful in these days in entrepreneur. But we have not faced technology like a stranger or with fear. We have to be sure that technology is our friend and is the key tool that we have in order to be sure that our entrepreneurial adventures that we are taking are really successful. We are going to have some masterclass on these days to try to close technology to you, to be sure that you understand the technology and you understand how to use this technology for your successful. And finally, we live in a connected world. My experience is absolutely key, and it's very important to be sure that we promote, we develop, and we take care of our professional networks. That we are close to knowledge centers, that we create networks, we learn from others, we share with others. Hopefully, after these 4 days, we will have in Mediterranean some new entrepreneurs. And what I think is even more important, we have a network of Mediterranean entrepreneur women that are close, are strong, and you are working all of us together. Finally, welcome, and I hope these days are really, truly inspiring for you.
Thank you so much, Eva. And I also want to give a warm welcome to Sana Afouyes in Brussels, who's connected from Brussels. She's the founder and director of Entrepreneurship, our second partner organization that we collaborate with in the framework of the Mediterranean Tech Women Week. Sana, thank you so much as well for your partner and friendship, and the floor is yours.
Hello everyone, hola, buenos dias. That's where my Spanish stops. I'm so jealous of the background view there. You are very lucky, everyone. Well, thank you so much. I'm very happy to be part of this amazing initiative. I think the Mediterranean Tech Women Week is one of those important initiatives that we need to have more and more in order to make sure that women are in the heart of the change, of the revolution. More than ever, technology has proved to be the power of today, and unfortunately, women are marginalized or excluded from this revolution in many ways, in terms of access to education, in terms of access to the internet as a tool, in terms of access to funds to run and develop and create innovative tech startups. So I think this week would be a good way to raise awareness about the place of women in tech and hopefully have the political will to ensure that women in the whole Mediterranean take active part of the technology revolution, and that actually different organizations in this event and this conference and this whole initiative this week could collaborate locally and nationally to make sure that they share good practices on how to empower women in tech. So I'm sure that the participants this week, they're going to learn from a lot of different experts. They're going to hopefully share also some tips and some knowledge, and hopefully they can collaborate. Even if it's a small initiative, it's all right. What's important is that we raise awareness about the importance of having more women in tech, how to bring women to tech and how to bring tech to women. Also, it's very important that during these difficult times, COVID has impacted the lives of so many people in the region, but specifically women. Women have been losing their jobs daily, and this is just the beginning. I mean, we witnessed at the beginning a health crisis. Now, slowly we are witnessing an economic crisis, and in the near future, we're going to witness a social inequality crisis. So it's important that we actually put now the right effort and the right investment in women in order to ensure that we will have equal societies in the near future.
Thank you so much, Sana. Very true words that you have spoken. And without any further ado, we officially kick off the very first edition of Mediterranean Tech Woman Week. Enjoy 4 days full of learning at masterclasses, conferences, tech talks, and so on. Welcome again and enjoy this week.
I was born 57 years ago. My father told me that I was a boy, but I felt something different. Take the decision to be a woman from men when you are in that professional, social and familiar environment is very complicated. It has been very positive for me because I've learned a new way to lead the companies.
and good morning from Madrid. We are here for our first debate. In this case, we are going to face the debate of boosting the role of Mediterranean women in the tech sector. And here with me, we've got Eva, again, who is going to be part of this debate. And we are going to have another two guests. The first one is Sana Foyaiz. You already met her a few minutes ago. And she's the founder and director of Womenpreneur. We are really glad to have you here because you are part of the partners of this Tech Women Week. And we are also having Olina Beck. Olina Beck is a specialist in human development for the European Training Foundation since 2012, if I'm right, Olina. And she was an advisor also in the World Bank. So she really knows about the current situation of Mediterranean women in the sector. I would like to start with you, Eva, since you are here, just beside me, and we know each other already.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you a really big and common question, but that hasn't been faced yet, and it's what are the biggest challenges and opportunities for the women in the tech sector in the area of the Mediterranean?
I think, first of all, technology is a big source of opportunities for women. Taking in mind that technology is the most important sector in the future, that technology is not just only for technology companies. Yeah. Technology is embedded in banking, in energy, in commerce, and etc. So technology is the future. Technology is the future for work and to be executives. Under that point of view, opportunities all for us, like women. Another point that I must to reinforce is that the new leadership in technology is a more collaborative leadership. It's a more inclusive leadership than in the past in another kind of industries. Under that point of view, women, we are going to have a big role leading these technology companies, especially because we are very prepared by our culture and our education to share, to create networks, to create collaborations, and etc. So if we are able to be in the technology companies, I'm sure that we are going to reach the executive levels. The main challenge, I would say that there are two challenges that are really related. First one is to increase the number of young girls in technology. Currently, we are in Mediterranean, just in engineering, we are around 50–70% in our universities. So we have to increase the volume and the participation of women in technology. It's a commonplace today talk about women in STEM careers. We have to convince our girls that technology is not like in the past a men profession. Technology is for us, as for men. There is no problem. We have to put the role models of all of those women executives that are leading big technology companies in front of our young girls in order to be sure that they understand that technology is for us. Technology is not just to put pieces together like in the past. Technology is to take care of life, to create a new society, to develop science, life, and etc. Under that point of view, I think that our main challenge is to believe that we are important in technology, to understand that technology is in the future, not only just in pure technology, even how the technology is applied in other sectors, and to feel comfortable with technology that in some cases is very strange.
Yeah, I do agree. There's something really important about what you said, and it's encouraging the young girls.
Yeah.
I would like to talk a little bit with Sana about that, because we can encourage young girls that they haven't started their studies, but we can also encourage to current entrepreneur women to be into technology. How can we do that, Sana, in your vision? How important it is for women entrepreneurs to address technology too, to not be a part of the technology? I think we are having some difficulties with Sana.
Sí, vamos, no podemos introducir a las ponentes, entonces lo que vamos a hacer es ampliar un poquito el plano y vamos a introducir aquí a Teresa.
Okay, so we've got another guest. She's Teresa Alarcos. I'm glad you arrived because today was crazy with the traffic in Madrid. Teresa, so really nice to meet you.
Pleasure. How are you doing?
Very good. I don't know how can we say hi. I think just with the elbows.
Hi,
Thank
Teresa.
you so much for...
Pegaros un poquito ahí.
Yeah, if you can please sit down, Teresa, and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Teresa Alarcos, first of all, is the founder and CEO of W Startup Community. She's been working with another really great companies like L'Oreal and Lycos, Yoigo, etc. So we are going to discuss now with Teresa another issues. Since we are having some difficulties, my first question to Teresa is going to be about this involving already entrepreneurs, women with the tech sector, within the tech sector. I'm sure that Teresa has had a lot of contact with entrepreneurs, women in her W startup community. I know we are facing really different situations depending on the country. We are in the Mediterranean. It is not the same situation, of course, for a Spanish woman, that Lebanese woman, or Israeli woman. I'm sure you have a lot of connection with other countries too, and you know that the situation for the startups are different, and especially for women. So how can we encourage women that are already entrepreneurs to get involved with technology?
So thank you so much for inviting me, Eva, and your foundation that you are leading. First of all, this is an emerging industry. It was an industry that it was created by men. So when industries are created by men, there's an inertia. So we need to be a part of that movement, because this is going to transform society, and society, half of the society are women and the other half are men. So there are some women that are already using disruptive technologies in order to create their entrepreneurship projects. But there are very few. There are many women that are entrepreneurs, but not many using disruptive technology. And that's the path to put them together. There's a path to put them together, so there is a dialogue, so that the ones that are already entrepreneurs get this path in order to be competitive. In other countries, in Spain and in all the countries, you cannot imagine, developed countries like the US or in Asia or in Africa, there's a problem with finance. There's one of the biggest barriers, no matter where you go, is the barrier of access to private equity, access to business angels, access to money. But it happens in Africa. I was talking yesterday to one woman, and half of the women in Africa, there's huge amount of women entrepreneurs, but only 2% of the capital goes to that project. So there are some foundations that are taking care of that issue. Here in the developed countries, we have the same we have the problem also that there are very few, and there's very few amount of women that are entrepreneurs, and also there is very little capital going to those projects. Besides what I mentioned, another barrier is the cultural barrier. As Eva was saying, we need to promote those role models that are already having successful stories to tell, to put them in television series, to put them in cartoons, so that there are conversations in the families about that there is a career path in that sense. and also to make engineering more appealing to women, because it was built, the context, by men. So we have to put that context more appealing so that women move forward to that area. But to be honest, not only women, technology is an enabler. It's an enabler in order to create these new business models that provide with new experiences to the consumers. So we need to be sure that we put technology transversal in academy, in all of the studies. So there are some different points to attack, the cultural thing, the academia, also promoting those that are already having successful stories. So a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do, and I'm really highlighting something that you said, Teresa, and is to make it more appealing. Because sometimes, and I do agree, I've been into television, you just see that there's a unique vision, and there's not a unique vision for technology, there's not a unique vision for women, there's not a unique vision for the world. I don't know if we can talk to Alina now, but I've got a really important question for her. If we cannot connect with her now, we will do it later. But she has studied a lot about the way of developing competences in a gender-sensitive way. And this is something that I think could be really important to bring to this debate about how can we develop key competences in technology in a gender-sensitive way. I don't know if we can connect with Alina, but if we cannot, then definitely I will ask you the question, because I want to know about your opinion about how can we make that.
Develop capacities. I think that it's very important to introduce technology as soon as possible in our education.
Yes,
in order to be sure that the young girls and the young men are close to technology. I will say that second one, and just oriented to the gender orientation, it's again the same message.
Go towards them and build alliances with them so that they learn, because they know a lot about their business, but they might not know a lot about the new business models emerging in the startup ecosystem. So when you put them together, there's magic coming up. So that's what we are doing. We celebrate yearly, this is the 5th year, one event that is called Inspiring Women Leaders in the Digital Era. We have 22 countries coming to this event, and there's a dialogue. I think it's very important that we promote this kind of idea everywhere. I mean, there's not enough effort to promote Eva's initiative, and we need more initiatives, because the other day I read one article of the World Economic Forum, and it said that the industry of startups is an industry from 2017 to 2019 of $3 trillion.
Yeah.
Imagine that there is just only 12%, 15% of women there. Imagine if we put 50%. The wealth that is going to be created is huge. So we have to be there.
Yes. Definitely, and we're taking note about your initiative, Inspiring Women Leaders from Digital Area.
In the digital
area. Okay, when that we need to face as a society together.
Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. The men in the young times is educated more in engineering or in building or in ATC, so they are more used to build something. Okay, so the technology is not so strange for them. The moment in the education at the lower levels, at the younger levels, is more educated on taking care, and technology is seen like something strange. So obviously the barriers for all of us, obviously, especially with the technology today that is very complicated, really. But we have to eliminate that fear, especially in women, because women is more oriented to other areas.
Yeah, I agree with her, and this is very important to transfer that message to the society, that technology is something that you cannot reach. It's something that has to be your friend, as Eva said. So we need to make, again, appealing so that people don't see that as like something that is unreachable.
Yeah.
It's something that you can reach if you have the right company, if you are in a community, if you are with people that can help you so that you learn. Also, in my experience, I was in Germany, in Hanover, in one robotic camp for women in their teens. And what they said, they didn't want to have that camp with boys because otherwise they don't feel free. Because, you know, women are they take care a lot of, we are very perfectionists. We don't want to fail. And we need to change our minds. We can fail. You learn for failures, but it's a culture. So we are like, we have to do this perfect. We don't apply to this job because we don't know 100%. So we need, as you mentioned, to take that risk. Yes, we do it, we fail, we learn, we redesign, we try again, we learn, we create new things. So this has to be something that is in our society, and nobody is punished for not accomplishing the goal at the first time. We learn because we make things with our hands, as Eva said, constructions, no matter what. And girls, they felt, because it was a robotics camp, they felt more comfortable just with girls. Yes, and I asked them, what are your references? Why did you come to this camp? And most of them, they have a mother that was an entrepreneur, a father who was engineer, a cousin that was whatever, but all they have a reference around family and friends. So we need to change that. I think there's a point of action in that, because all the girls, some of them, they don't have any reference. Very few. Yep. It's because they have a purpose very deep in their heart, and they want to achieve that purpose of whatever they have inside, and they achieve that goal. But in the majority of occasions is that.
Yeah, definitely. The next question was about the barriers, but I think you mentioned a lot of the barriers we have to break. I have written down, well, first of all, a technical issue, technical competences that we need to break that barrier and give women those technical facilities. Then also the fear that you said, we have to encourage to break the barrier of fear and saying, hey, everybody fails, no matter the gender. Yeah. Also, a monetary situation. You were talking at the beginning about the loans and all the economic situation and investment. Then definitely we have to break that barrier too. I will ask you now about that, because since you have been walking into finances, I would like to know a little bit about that too. And about the freedom, something that's really important. How do they feel more free being women? So how can we break that barrier, the lack of freedom, and the role models, the lack of role models, as you said. So how can we break those barriers? How do we do it? Oof.
So if you want, I can start. No. So there are emerging some communities of business angels women. So this is very nice, because as women, we want to put our money in women, because we know that they move forward and they work very hard. And there are studies of all of the big 4 companies saying that startups led by women and founded by women last longer, and they are more profitable, and they are really good payers to the loans that they ask for. So I think that this is very nice. And the other day I was in the Startup Day, the 19th of November, and there was one man, and you know what he said? We are going to achieve gender equality when the capital see the results of women. So capital is going to reduce the gender gap. Because when the capital realize how profitable the women projects are, when there is diversity, then the capital is moving forward towards.
I think one of the most important tools is something like Teresa is leading, Women Startup Community. I think that in order to lose the fear, feel like technology is for me, that it's accessible, it's very, very important collaborate. It's very important to share ideas, to share problems. To be sure that you are together with other women sharing fears, barriers, problems, ideas, and etc. You have no have a fear to share your ideas. Yeah. From sharing ideas, your idea is really biggest or more important than at the beginning. And to share your concerns with another entrepreneurs or with role models or with persons like Teresa, you are giving more stronger to be sure that you are able to do it. So collaboration, networking, team building is very, very important in order to create a community of women that really are starting to launch their startups, and they feel comfortable, they feel accompanied, and they feel that they are sharing and can be successful.
So, now we've got two tasks. First of all, building collaborative communities,
yeah,
and also having a capital investment in women initiatives. So we've got real tasks to do.
Yeah.
So the next question will be about how can we address those, and involving also the public administration in this case. How will we do it? How will we break those barriers, build those communities, having that capital investment? How can we do that involving all the society, including the public administration?
I think that the public administration is an enabler, but it's not the big tool to do it. I think that the more successful way to create these communities is private investments, and the collaboration between those women that just are leading their startups. Because I think that is not a question about the public administration is promoting that or is putting money in that. The most important is I am in a community, I have someone that has been successful, that is able and enjoy to sharing their experiences, their success, their fears and etc. with me in order to be sure I'm learning. Okay, so administration obviously can be an enabler, but it's not. I think that's not the key tool. The key tool is that all of the women that are doing entrepreneurship are together, are sharing, are explaining their experiences, their successes, and etc.
So yes, I agree with her. We have an experience with the public administration. We made an agreement with some regions, and it was really successful because what we did is we created a community there, so that they work on their own, but now they are together and they help each other. When you're in a community, you have a problem, and then you ask in the community, in the WhatsApp or in the Slack, I need a service provider with that. Do you know some? Yes, this. I proved this, and they are working good. I need legal advisor. I am looking for partners for that. So being in a community. So we have created one in Andalusia and the other one in Valencia, and we are creating another one in Catalonia. But we don't supervise. We just put the tools, and they go on their own. But through one program that is normally an educational program, or because we provide with, we have a lot of partnerships. For example, we have a partnership with Women in the Legal World. One, you know, legal is so expensive for a startup. So what we do is that they provide with free access courses to all the tools that they need to create one startup. So we have one course the day after tomorrow. We have, and you just need to register. That's all, and you have free access to that knowledge. So that's what we are doing. There is a purpose that we share. All the women that we want, like Eva. Also, there is the president of Women in the Legal World. There are many presidents of women that we go to them, and they are very sensitive to the fact that there are not women entrepreneurs. And we say, can you provide with your knowledge? Yes, and they do it for free. And we provide to the community. So I think this is very rich. You know, my husband says this only woman can do, because we don't provide with free. We don't provide with free. This is just woman that you have this power of and this purpose that you provide with a lot of. You donate hours to the society in order to build this purpose, in order to achieve that goal. You are very powerful. So I think this is very this is interesting.
Take in mind that these communities must be agile, flexible,
Yes.
quickly to give an answer, able to share. So I think that public administration is a key actor in order to create that communities in regions, for example, or in communities. But the real community of women entrepreneurs must be private in the sense that they have to collaborate, they have to share. Public administration can provide space, support, some kind of initial funding.
No
But in order
funding,
to be sure,
support.
as we need.
So we got it?
Yes, but this is what she says. If you have support, it means that you are aligned with what the society is going to move forward in other countries. And this is very important when she says it has to be with the corporations. The corporations have to, they need to because they need to accomplish the non-financial report. They have to prove that they are doing something for the ODAs number 5. They have to be aligned with what are you doing for society, what the Porter called shared value. So we are providing with whatever to these private communities, and we are helping them to to show their business model to our clients so that they scale up quicker. So, you know, we are approaching those communities to corporations as well, because it's a long path. From the ecosystem to corporations is so huge. So we put them together. So that's another strategy that we are doing.
So definitely with the public administration, it is like a do not disturb, just try to push and that's it, and let us work.
I think that they are moving forward now. I think that there is a sensibility. As far as I know, I'm not close to any movement or political movement, but what I think they are sensitive because they know that the seed of these startups is are the companies of the future, but a future that is the present. So they at least they always want to be. I mean, it's very important that if you organize whatever, with their presence, they are providing with institutional support, and this is giving credibility to the corporations that are supporting our initiative. That is independent of any whatever political movement, but because we come from the civil society, as Eva said. We come from the civil society because we have our heart and we want and we have this purpose. But having support of the corporations have the support that they are doing well, and the administration says, yes, you are doing well, you are supporting this, and you are the engine of the economy, and you're supporting these girls that are going to be the future. Well done. This is important. So I think we need to work aligned. We need to cooperate, as Eva said. And I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, absolutely. You know that we usually agree. I will say that it's not don't disturb. The message for the administration is we need you, but we need you at the speed and the way that we need you. Okay, not in the old way. Okay, no papers, no bureaucracy, no. Sorry, we must be very quick to launch our business. So be together with me, be close to me, but be on my way, not on my way, on the way that today is needed in order to be sure that we are in the business. And a second role that I think is very important in public administration, we are talking about entrepreneurs, young girls, and etc. But there are women that are 35 years old, 40 years old, that for several problems are almost out of the labor market. And these women are not educated in technology or have not been in university. They feel that technology is not for them. And the public administration has access to this collective, to this kind of women that are in a very complicated situation. They should get together with us I mean with communities of entrepreneurs, to this women that really are in a very complex situation, and entrepreneurship is a good way for them. And they have, public administration have access. I'm working with some towns, and the town is giving me the more critical women that are in a special situation, and I'm using my network in order to help them to go to entrepreneur.
I think what Eva said is very important, besides the barriers to open a business, and it has to do a lot with the public administration. I have the message from many friends of mine that are in other countries. They say it's so difficult to open one business in your country. And also you ask here in Spain, and most of the entrepreneurs, they don't have a former society. They are autonomous. I don't know how to say that, independent workers. So
yes.
So they don't create one, and because it's expensive, because of the legal cost, and besides because it has a lot of administrative papers, as Eva said. So we need to break that barrier, as Eva said. It's very important.
Yeah.
And I agree with her that there are collectives that are that we need to take them carefully, and that we could provide them with an education to provide them a future in this fourth industrial revolution. Because otherwise the society is going to be divided in the ones that are digital savvy and the ones that are digital not savvy, like the ones in the past that knew how to write and did not know how to write. So we need, as Eva said, use our networks in order to help society to be in this movement that is just starting, but is exponential. So we need to move agile, as Eva said, very quickly.
Definitely. I think what you said is basically the problem that faces like independent workers. Here in Spain, we know that's always said that around 95% of our companies are small companies or independent workers. And sometimes we hear that like in a proud sense, but sometimes they don't grow because they can't, because of the bureaucracy and the taxes, and because they don't feel the support. And I would like to talk to you a little bit about the local situation. As you said, some of your partners in other countries get surprises about how difficult it is to create a company here in Spain. And since we are having this Mediterranean area discussion, how do you see the difference between the Mediterranean area and another parts of the world, especially for women that are entrepreneurs into the tech sector?
I would say first one is culture. In Mediterranean or in the northern of Europe or States, there is a culture of entrepreneurship more developed, more consistent than in the Mediterranean country. In the Mediterranean country, we are very isolated. I mean that I work with me, not with other. We are very individualist in sometimes. The northern countries are more used to collaborate, to work together, like in the States. They are more used to take risk, not like in Mediterranean. And in our regional area, the countries, the public administration is not or has not been working to promote this kind of environments of entrepreneurs or to move women to be leaders or to be executive or to have their own startup. I think it's a problem especially of culture. I mean.
Yeah, I think there is a framework that is helping now, but the culture still is that is a masculine area. The executives are mainly men. There are just 5% of CEOs that are women, and we need to move forward. There are a lot of women that are in the slot, so that they probably will be the next generation of women CEOs. There are very few. It requires a lot of dedication, and traditionally women, it has to do, the family role is 95% done by the woman. They have this additional role in society that is changing, but still we have an education that we are leading that. Still, my generation has that mindset. The new generations are different.
Yeah.
So we have these themes. That's why there are many women entrepreneurs that want to be entrepreneurs, because they can manage their time. Most of the women are really high educated. The ones that are entrepreneurs, digital entrepreneurs, they have a master's degree. They have from 7 to 10 years of experience in a corporation, and they live with a couple, but they don't have children. One majority, but there is another like 20-something that they are mothers, and they prefer to be entrepreneurs, digital entrepreneurs, because they administrate their time. They work so hard, but they can manage their time. They can work till 3 o'clock in the morning. When they are changing the diaper, they can go on working, we can work, so that's it.
So definitely there's a culture issue. Since we are talking about the differences into the Mediterranean area, I would like to welcome Olina, that I think she is connected now because she did a great research. Hello, Olina. Nice to see you.
Hello.
Nice
I'm very
to
happy
see
to
you.
get connected. Yes, thank you.
Me too. Welcome, first of all, to this panel. As you know, we were talking about the cultural difference that can be a barrier for us here in the Mediterranean, especially for you women in the tech sector. You have done a really strong study, really deep study on this approach. So I would like to know a little bit more about that, Olina. How do you see those barriers? What are the main barriers that you see for Mediterranean women within the tech sector?
Actually, I'm so sorry that I missed the discussion that you had before. I'll reduce my sound because I hear myself in your studio. Yeah. Okay, so about the educated women who are starting their business and that they appreciate the flexibility that entrepreneurship gives them. Actually, my own exposure to the issues of the women's entrepreneurship in the South Mediterranean, North Africa region is related to the last 10 years when we were conducting the study together with the OECD, the European Commission, and we as ETF were involved in the discussions with the local government, with local stakeholders, with experts, with women entrepreneurs themselves, in the framework of the Small Business Act assessment that we were doing not only in this region but also across 23 countries in 3 regions of the EU. And the issues are practically very similar, not only in the partner regions of the EU, but also within the EU. There are many issues that are similar, and we could discuss the different legal and cultural and social barriers, which I consider to be external factors for preventing women to engage on equal terms with men into the entrepreneurial activity. But if you allow me, I would like to focus more on the internal factors. And I never found any data, any evidence that would say that women lack any skills or knowledge to equally participate or to be on equal terms with men in entrepreneurship. There is no such evidence. And even more, we all know that statistically women are more educated than men in general, if we look at the data. But what happens is that there are some internal factors which are related to the way we see the world and we act in this world in many cases, and I don't want to generalize, but in overall, we are talking about the issues like lack of self-efficacy or lack of willingness to take risk-taking, or more competitive types of activities in many cases. And this is not because women cannot do it, but because the society does not expect them many times to do it. And this affects the numbers, of course. And this is related to the fact that we could look into what can we do in addition to prepare women to embark into entrepreneurial activity and to act more in terms of risk-taking. This is related to the key competence development. And the key competences are the so-called dynamic combination of knowledge, skills, and attitudes. And these are very delicate skills which are related to the way we take risks and we participate in different aggressive environments sometimes. And key competences have been given very big attention recently in the European Union and across the globe. Different international organizations are dealing with these issues. There are different schools and concepts. But if we look at the EU framework of key competences for lifelong learning, they are intended to prepare us as citizens to different transitions we experience in life. And this is both transition from education to work or to self-employment, to entrepreneurial activity, and then facing different hits like the one we are experiencing now related to COVID emergency, entrepreneurial. And these key competences sometimes are like thin in the box. So to demystify this concept, there were groups of experts who developed different instruments, which are called competence frameworks. And in the EU, there are several very useful instruments, boys and girls, women and men, by really preparing them on different key competences in a sensitive way, fine-tuning it to the needs. And also it has to be seen in progression. So we start from early age, and it's like a domino effect. So we have to follow up. We have to see there were moments when, for example, the counseling or career advice could help women to make a decision instead of going in wage employment, to consider entrepreneurship and self-employment as a career, or also to support professional women who are really good in different positions in the companies, in different organizations, to try to embark into entrepreneurial activities. So this is also related to the development of key competences in a way, and support all of us, men and women. And also one thing I wanted to add here is that we don't want to discuss the issues of women's entrepreneurship only among women, because we have to see together, men and women, what are the issues to confront, and men need to participate in these discussions like you are doing in this studio yourself, really to find the solutions. And it's not a problem of women, it's a problem of societies, it's a problem of our economy. So we need to spend more time and more effort and resources on building awareness that women's entrepreneurship is not only a very important way to support different categories of population, the families, give women more flexibility in how they address the economic challenges, but also it's very beneficial for the economy, for the national competitiveness. So we need to spend more resources and give it special attention at the system level to really promote women's entrepreneurship as a very important factor of national economic growth and competitiveness. And I could stop here, and then you could, if you any more questions.
Well, thank you very much, Alina, because definitely you summarize a lot of what we are discussing today, and I think we all agree, the four of us, that there are some issues in entrepreneurship, in tech sector, that are common for men and women. We are talking about the bureaucracy, about the technical stuff, we're talking about the investment, and then, as you said, we've got specific problems that we need to approach in order to include women, because it is good for all of us. It is not just good for women, it is good for all the society, it's good for the economy, as you said. And something that you all agree, and I think we should highlight about this discussion, about this debate, is about accompanying during the early stages. During the early stages, definitely, we need to encourage women. But after that, as you said, Alina, we are in a global world. We have to prepare, no matter who, for competing into a global world. And a global world means women, men, means different nationalities, means different cultures. And I really like about the job of Lina that she has been doing the study in 23 countries, right?
Yes, we are a big team. It's both on the side of ETF. It's always, we were really sometimes 6, 7, 8 people engaged indirectly, and the big team on the side of OECD. And lately, it's like we were in the last years in South Mediterranean, North Africa. I participated in 2 assessments, and I was writing the women's entrepreneurship comparative analysis across all countries. But overall, it's also the Western Balkans and Turkey region and the Eastern Europe region. So it's quite a lot of assessments which repeat every several years. And we collected a lot of evidence, qualitative evidence mainly. And the signals, if I could get another side of it, in terms of system level, in terms of policy level, women's entrepreneurship is very interesting topic because if, for example, for education, when we talk about education in general, we say we need to support structured partnerships, which means at the government level, with all the institutions involved formally, etc. In women's entrepreneurship, we don't say that it needs to be necessarily structured, formal partnership. No, because there is so much activity of networks, communities, that informal partnership could work. And informal partnership could be even stronger than formal partnership because of lots of interest and energy in this partnership, and also the quality. So what needs to be done really that the governments should consider seeing these networks and communities as implementers of budget support programs. So there are 2 very important aspects in which the women's entrepreneurship networks could be engaged. First of all, if the government needs to access women to support them in train them for example, to provide mentorship, coaching, and different kinds of support, then the governments could engage these networks to provide this support because they are the closest to the women themselves. And they also usually engage women entrepreneurs with a lot of experience, so they really know their business and could be really good implementers. The second thing that is encouraging these networks and communities, these organizations, to actively engage themselves in policy making, so that these networks would approach the government with ideas, with the expressing their needs, what support is needed, what resources are needed, and in this case, really proposing, insisting, providing data, collecting data, and of course providing data and analysis, what are the areas where support should be given based on the analysis of the specific context. And also we need to take into account that really the efforts across different sectors of the government policy need to be connected, because women's entrepreneurship is not linked into one sector of government activity. It's not only, for example, with the Ministry of Economy, because in the Ministry of Economy we deal only with the economic side, and then the education sector will deal with the key competence and other side. And then there will be the Ministry of Social Affairs, which will be dealing with other factors which impact women's entrepreneurship and families, etc. So it's important to bring all these partners together, let them understand each other's side and each other's vision, and really build a common vision. So when I say that we need a women's entrepreneurship strategy, it doesn't mean that we need a set of actions to train women entrepreneurs. But we need a set of actions which are coordinated around the common goal and vision across different partners. So this is, I see that there are comments in the room. I hope you agree with me, because we need to engage women organizations not only in planning this support, but also in monitoring and evaluation. So we have to control what's going on.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you want to talk a bit
Any
about
comments?
that, but I would like first of all to welcome Sana. Finally, we could connect. Sana, thank you very much. Can
Hi,
you hear us?
everyone.
Hello.
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's so good. So
Earlier I was talking alone.
Oh, sorry, Sana. So really nice to have
That's
you
all right.
here for the last part of the debate. I'm really glad to have you, four of you, here, because I think we've been talking a lot about those differences, about the tech sector, but I would like to talk a little bit, since now we've got Sana and Olina with different backgrounds, I would like to talk a little bit about those differences that you could find also between the countries. So how is the role of women in tech sector in those different countries? How did you find that, Olina and Sana, in your case, that I know that you've been traveling, you were born in Morocco and now you are living in Belgium, am I right?
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah, so how is that different? What are the main difference that you found?
So when you look at the region, what's interesting is that in terms of the participation of women in tech in the South, in terms of education, we have more women. Actually, 65% of women in the South Mediterranean region do studies in STEAM, which is a good thing normally to access the job market. But when you look in terms of women performing or kind of exercising tech jobs, in terms of women leading tech startups, we have very few women. And that's why the issue is not only about actually providing the education of technology, but also is to work on different other issues in terms of legislation, in terms of the mindset, in terms of the opportunities, investment. And if we look at the north of the Mediterranean, it's the opposite. Opportunities are there, I would say, more or less, comparing to the South. But unfortunately, we have very few women or young women studying STEAM. So there is still this mindset that actually technology is just for a very weird geek guy. And women, they should perform other jobs or work in other industries. And I think this is like the main thing that we need to tackle, is to really create this new mindset. Otherwise, we're going to really have a serious discrimination in jobs, and not in 20 years, but in the next 3 years. COVID has showed that women are losing their jobs every day. Women actually work in manufacturing industries, they work in industries that are most impacted and affected by COVID. And this will push a lot of girls and young women to drop out of the educational system to take care of for their families' members. And then again, we're going to have an education gap, something that we've worked on for many years in order to close it, and now we're going to have it actually imposing again. If we look at the different studies and data, women, between 2 to 3 women are likely to fall into poverty. And the employment rate are getting higher and higher every single day. So there is like a serious talent that we are losing, and women will be experiencing a serious marginalization in terms of economic opportunities, socially speaking, and the fact that we have very few women in decision making in both sides. This will affect the different priorities that governments will put forward, because women will come again at the below list of priorities. And this means that women won't receive enough education to enter the workforce. We will have a serious social and economic inequalities that will actually double. And we will have like a serious economic and political instabilities. I mean, if we look at the region, we still have undergoing civil wars. We're still having like serious poverty in so many countries. Some countries that are just, destroyed. So it's important that we make sure that in this time of crisis, we study and we examine and we take the right decision by involving women in this field. That is, actually, it's the power of today, whether we want it or not. Technology is shifting and shaping our societies every day. So it's very important that we have a serious political will by investing in women to make sure that we provide the right tools, the right support, and those who have already been involved in tech to really support them. If we look today how many female-led businesses have been closing their startups, their innovative startups, the numbers are scary. And this is because there isn't a serious or a well-studied support system for these female entrepreneurs.
Thank you very much, Sana. I think you said something that's really, really interesting. How in in some northern countries of Africa and other countries and Middle East, women do have higher rates than in developed countries, joining STEAM works and STEAM studies and technological studies. Some studies do point to freedom. And we're here in the Friedrich Naumann Foundation for Freedom. They do a point of freedom as one of the main reasons of these studies, because technology do help to freedom. And I would like to know, since we've got Olina here, did you arrive to some conclusion with those studies in the difference of the countries, talking about these reasons of why do the women do study a little bit more of technology in northern regions of Africa or eastern countries, etc.?
I would not have this kind of data, and we do not have this kind of indicator in the study. But I can give you simply maybe a bit paradoxical answer. I think that this year has changed the whole scene, and the whole world is changing. I see that maybe regional differences at this moment are fading a little bit, because we so much activity moved into a digital environment that this could be seen as a huge challenge, but also as a huge opportunity for all entrepreneurs, and especially women, who suddenly they see a lot of demand. So with this situation, with the difficult circumstances, I think this provides an opportunity not only for men but also for women to a great extent. And this is the moment to apply this education that we have, and to also, as I said, with the other qualities like competences that I mentioned before. I think the support has to be really given to this side of economic activity. I think also that this is a moment when we could also rely a little bit on the local resources and local partnerships, because I really appreciate the discussions on how to build women's entrepreneurship or gender-sensitive ecosystems for entrepreneurship, because this is also a topic which is very widely mentioned in different documents, discussed a lot, but sometimes it really not clear how do you build this ecosystem. And I just wanted to say that from our experience, the ecosystems are not perfect organograms. When you have everything ready, you assess the landscape, you know who are the partners, and you have it perfect and you move. No, normally you find 2, 3 or maybe more partners who are ready to invest resources into a common goal. In this case, it would be women's entrepreneurship support. You agree that you do see this future goal in the same way, that you know how you're going to achieve it, and you start moving. And as you are moving, as you are starting to implement the first actions, you look at the different slots in the ecosystem, different functions in the ecosystem that are not fulfilled, and try to find these partners to fill in these functions. But for the ecosystem development, it's really important to have a common vision and to use all the resources possible and to match them, to put them together in order to survive and to help the entrepreneurs survive, especially the women entrepreneurs whom we are discussing at the moment.
Well, thank you very much. We'll now end at the panel. I will make you a last question, okay? But I want, first of all, thanks Olina and Sana especially because of the technical difficulties that we had. I'm sure we will have time in the future to discuss again, to talk again longer. Thank you very much. And I just want to close with something really clear. Like, I want to ask you, all of you, a really clear, simple message for those women that can be watching us at home. What would you tell her? what would you tell them to encourage them to get involved into the technology sector and into the startup ecosystem?
Who starts?
Whoever wants to start. Sana?
I can start. Actually, the message, I don't think the message should go to the women themselves, because I think it should go somewhere else. I think we need to communicate with the key actors who actually should involve these women, because women wanting to involve in tech or entrepreneurship is something that a lot of women will agree on. But what we need is the right framework, the right legislation, the right support, and the right investment. And this can only come from decision makers. So that's why I hope that this event, this whole initiative, will actually, I would say, raise awareness among the decision makers to invest in women. Because I can see now the different decisions that have been made in so many countries, whether in Europe or in the MENA region. Women issues in the heart of COVID is being considered as the last priority. And that's wrong, because again, we are failing women and we are going to fail our economic and social progress.
Sana, Oline?
Yes, actually, I would give two messages. One, to the women. I think that women need to really turn their ideas into action, because this is a very difficult transition between having a great idea and really embarking into action. So I think this is really important, to decide that if you have a great idea, if you have not a great idea but a good enough idea, start implementing it. Don't be hesitant. And those women who already have achieved a lot, like the women who are present in this panel, who already achieved professional success in entrepreneurship, they should really try to serve as role models for those women who are starting. So this is really important, to share success, to celebrate success, and to show that this is nothing really special. You just see, I did it and you could do it. This is one message to the women. And to support organizations, I do agree with Sana that it could not be that women could be the least priority, because it's a half of the population of the world. So we cannot live and see that women do not have the opportunities that they deserve to realize their talent. So if the times are difficult, it means that really there is more reason to put priority on women's entrepreneurship and women's self-employment, and to support this by different means. And really awareness, I agree also that this is very important, and please let's discuss it with men, let's do it together with men, not women alone.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for making us part of it. Teresa?
To sum up to those thoughts that I fully agree, if you have a dream, go for it. And if you don't know how to do it, ask for help. There are a lot of people willing to help you to achieve your goal.
Thank you very much, Teresa. And Eva?
It's very difficult to add something. I would like to finish with a positive message. Believe on you. You can. It's possible. It's not easy. It's hard. But there are a lot of women that can help you as you talk. Believe in you. It's possible. Do it. Do it, please.
Thank you very much. Please do it. If you are thinking about entrepreneurship, do it, because we all need women, all of our society. So thank you very much. This has been the last question of this panel, and we will continue tomorrow with the Mediterranean Tech Women Week of 2020. Thank you, and please stay tuned.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
I was born 57 years ago. My father told me that I was a boy, but I felt something different. Take the decision to be a woman from men when you are in that professional, social and familiar environment is very complicated. It has been very positive for me because I've learned a new